Is a beautiful day here in the heart of God's country. Getting a little too hot for our European friends, but that's okay. It's the 9th day of June in the year of our Lord 2026. I'm here, Big Sky Mountain Mosley here, making sure we can broadcast to as many people as possible around the globe, and especially here in the state of Alabama. So let's get started with that. The very first thing out there, Sky. Lots of news, actually, internationally with the whole, what are they calling this soccer thing? The World Cup.
It's the World Cup right now. We have a big exhibition event in Auburn, Alabama tonight.
Is it tonight? Really?
It is tonight, 7:30. They call it a kickoff.
Do they really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they do kick the ball.
Yeah. Well, they call it football.
I wonder if they always. Well, I mean, look, their football is more football than our football is because they play foot with their feet.
Oh well, okay. So what? Should
Which
we
is
call
first,
ours?
though? Can we? Let's do a little dive. Was there a football before there was football? Who used the term football first?
I think we're going to lose this.
I think we probably are. I mean, it's a European thing. Let's see. When did football start calling football? Yeah, I think we're going to lose that one.
Yeah. They've had it
According to the Wikipedia, which you can't trust them, the English word football may mean any one of several team sports or the ball used, depending on the national, regional, blah, 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 blah. Of FIFA. Here we go. An early reference to a ball game that was probably football comes from 1280.
As in the year 1280?
Yeah, in the year of our Lord, 1280, at Oldham, Northumberland, England.
Of course.
Henry, while playing at ball, ran against David. I don't see the football word. Football was played in Ireland in 1308 with a documented reference to John McCracken, a spectator at a football game at Newcastle, County Down, Northern Ireland, being charged. Listen to this. Okay, look. If this is the first reference, they win. You know why?
Why?
Because John McCracken, the spectator at this here game, was charged with accidentally stabbing a player named William Bernard.
Okay. That's it. Checkmate. What was it? Rugby? Was it what we call soccer? What was
I don't
it?
know.
A pigskin? What do they use?
In 1321, during the game, quote, during the game at ball, as he kicked the ball, a lay friend of his ran against him and wounded himself.
Okay, I may have to take back some of my derogatory statements about football yesterday.
Let's see.
It's a little more tougher than I thought.
Alternate explanation has the word originally referred to a variety of games in medieval Europe, which were played on foot. Oh, that gives us a little. These sports were usually played by peasants, as opposed to the horse riding sports more often enjoyed by aristocrats. Oh, that would make sense for Europe to say, oh, you have to stand on your feet, so you play football, you low-life serf. We play
game
on horseback that you cannot afford.
So it was on foot, perhaps.
That's what it sounds possible. In some cases, the word has been applied to games which involved carrying a ball and specifically banned kicking. So there's a chance that early football was more like our football. The English writer William Hone, writing in 1825, quotes the social commentator Sir Frederick Morton Eden, who had a talk radio show at that time, regarding the game which Hone refers to as football, played in the parish of Scone, Perthshire. This sounds like more like rugby. The game was this.
I think so.
He who at any time got the ball into his hands run with it till overtaken by one of the opposite part, and then if he could shake himself loose from those on the opposite side who seized him, he run on. If not, he threw the ball from him unless it was wrested from him by the other party, but no person was allowed to kick it. You know what that game is?
Yeah, I do. It's called Smear.
Smear the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what that game is called.
Verily, I am tackled. Yes.
Henceforth, I shall throweth this ball into the air until the next.
Perchance I invent the forward pass. Yes.
Throw it to me! Throw it to me!
Let's get this thing out of here.
Yeah, that game was historically known as in 1750 as smear the.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And we didn't know. Yeah,
We didn't know we weren't supposed to say that.
Right.
I've told you the story, right, about my youngest son, and they're playing this here game where if you were overtaken by the opposite part, and then if he could shake himself loose from those who had seized him, he run on. If not, he threw the ball from him unless it was rested. They were playing that in the backyard. I'm like, hey, what's the name of that game? And they're like they're shocked that I don't know. And then they're like, oh, it's Smear the Deer. And I said, the deer?
No, it's not. Where'd you come up with
So
that?
what? And then I realized, he was born in like 2007 or whatever it was, 2003, 2007. So so the younger generation had been cleansed because of all the LGBTQ stuff that they could not play Smear the Q.
Did they know?
No, they had no idea.
Had no idea.
They
Okay.
did not know that it had been cleansed for them. It had been passed on. So that meant that at some point at school somewhere or someone's mom said, no, we don't, that's not what your older brother called it. He said deer. They were playing Smear the Deer. And it became ingrained. They were shocked.
Wow. That goes to show you how much indoctrination works.
Oh, it really is. Like, we didn't know that there was such a thing as, you know what I'm saying? That we didn't even know you couldn't. Of course, you can say it now, right? Because it's okay. I don't know which handbook we're using. I'm pretty sure it's one of those terms where if I say it too much, it's bad, insensitive, and terrible. But if they say it calling themselves that, then it's okay.
And they do. They do quite often. They've got a whole nation
decided
dedicated
to just avoid words with R's.
Yes.
You can't end with an R. You can't start with an R. That's the other one about mentally deficient or mentally challenged. You can't start with that one.
Right.
So if it has an R at the start and an R at the end, you should just avoid it almost completely.
Just remove that.
Just remove it
completely. Take it off Wheel of Fortune.
And we've evolved to the point where it's like, well, does it really mean that much to you to have to use that word? I mean, it's not even. Now they don't even make the argument for the word. Now it's this denigrating. Oh, are you basically so dumb? I mean, it. Anyway, so you can't say it. In 1750, a French card depicted football. I think there's gallows in the back.
That's pretty. It's becoming a darker game by the minute as we learn.
It is.
More.
It is rough. King Edward II of England issued a proclamation banning handball, football, or hockey, coursing, and cockfighting, and other such idle games, suggesting that football may have been differentiated from games that involved other parts of the body.
I thought it was the riots, but apparently it was just waste of time.
Here we go.
Is what Henry was after.
The word soccer originated as an Oxford ER slang. Is that more words you can't say?
Of course.
Abbreviation of association, as is credited to late 19th century English footballer Charles Wireford Brown. It has been speculated that both this story and the William Webb Ellis rugby story are apocryphal. However, this appears to be a revision of history, as the English term soccer fell out of favor while England differentiated their language from America's, where the term soccer had become widely used.
Did they ever settle on one or the other? It's football because the FIFA.
England went with football as we adopted more soccer, apparently.
Okay. Well, without the blitz and the bomb, it's just not football. That's my final say on the whole thing.
It's not the same. It's really not.
Shotgun. We've got all this violence ingrained in our football, so we win. We win.
We have Australian rules football, which is what? Rugby?
That's it for rugby. Yes.
See? So we just need to figure this out, and there'll be
Which is
world
pretty rough,
peace.
too.
Yeah. We got to take a break. Lots of stuff to do. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We are back, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling people about the program. Last night, 1819 News had their runoff debate, Republican runoff debates between the lieutenant governor's offices, the U.S. Senate office, and the – what's wrong, Sky? I may have you clicked on right here talking to you. And the, let's see, lieutenant governor, what was it? Lieutenant
Attorney
governor,
General,
attorney
Lieutenant
general.
Governor,
That was the third
Senate.
one. Representative Barry Moore was not there. He had to go to Washington, D.C. I don't know if they had the vote, but I know they're having reconciliation or whatever. It's funny how if you're in the office, you're in trouble for no matter what you do. If you don't show up at the debate, you're a terrible person. You didn't really have to vote, but if you do show up at the debate and they're in Washington, everybody else is in Washington. Why aren't you in Washington? We hired you to do a job. Can't even trust you to do a job. All you care about is running for office. So it doesn't. You can't win on that one. But we did have some people who went to the event last night, and Red Top was one of those.
They won free tickets, as a matter of fact.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Well,
yes,
very
they did.
good, very good. I don't know how the attendance was. I wasn't there, but I would bet, considering the dynamics of this being a runoff among Republicans, who, again, as we keep mentioning on this show, all basically say they believe the same things.
That's what the campaign ads say.
And so let's get to Red Top and find out how that went, because he's apparently fully a Republican again now. Red Top, welcome to the program. You know I'm joking with you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to say, oh, no, I ain't.
So how'd it go? What were your thoughts? What's up?
Okay, I had a great time, and thank y'all for the ticket.
You're welcome.
and actually the first time I've been in the Impact Theater. And
Was it nice?
It is nice.
It is state of the art,
Yes,
buddy.
yes.
I mean, all of downtown, not a piece of paper on the ground. People who complain about downtown Montgomery are just idiots.
They just don't
never
know.
lived nowhere
Look,
else in their
all my
life.
experiences downtown, at least down around the Renaissance, it's always been nice.
Yeah, the entertainment district, they do a good job down there.
Okay.
They do a very good job. Everybody was super nice.
Did people
let's
recognize
get
you,
to-
Red Top?
Nobody from the radio station was there except for the two guys on stage. As far as I know, nobody showed up, or everybody looks so different now I didn't recognize them.
I got you.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody on this crew and the Montgomery crew was there. Nobody.
I'll check around, see what I can find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, find out.
We
But,
have look,
okay,
Red Top. We have people who go for us and then tell us what we need to know. I mean, we
that's what I'm here for.
yes.
That's right.
Okay, very, very small crowd. The tables were all set up for the candidates. And, of course, first thing I did is go to Barry Moore's table because why am I voting for him? He's left-handed.
Yep.
Of course.
This apparently made me the most popular person with the Barry Moore campaign.
go.
And I have some amazing facts. You know, I stood there and talked to them for a little while. They were super nice, smart, alert people. And then I went inside and looked at the venue some and talked to some other folks. And when I came back out, I went back to Barry Moore's table. And Mrs. Moore, Barry Moore's wife, I don't remember her first name. Do y'all know her first name?
If you had not have asked, I think is it Heather?
I'm not sure.
I can't
Very
remember.
nice, very nice petite blonde lady. I'm just standing there. She comes straight up to me, and we talked for 10 minutes.
Yeah, she is super nice.
Super nice, really smart, and I found out Barry Moore comes from an incredibly unusual family genetically. I do believe it was his mother and his other three brothers. Everybody is left-handed in that family.
Really? That is kind of odd.
Stunning. I never heard of that in my life. And
Yeah, it's
said they're
Heather.
just
That's
turned-
what I thought.
yeah, and we talked for a long time. She's so smart, and of course Barry was up in Washington waiting to vote, so that's why he was not there. And but I found them really good, and of course I didn't go over to the guy that's running against Barry Moore's because I had a big old Barry Moore sticker on my short shirt. I didn't think he'd appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
No,
gotta
I
watch
understand.
out for these people. It was pretty much just the people at the venue that were working for the campaign.
So
I
it was
see.
so it was
There-
mostly campaign people and not spectators. I no look that is pretty normal for political events. I've been to some larger ones, and the larger ones are usually just larger because the campaigns were afraid the other campaign would have more people, so they invited more of their friends and more of their campaign workers. I mean, that's usually what it is. But that's why we have shows like this to get people to call us and tell us how the debate went. Was
Well-
anything said that affected them in any way? Change
yeah.
their mind?
All right, let me. And they had technical trouble. Sky and I thought of Sky the minute that the mic went out.
Yeah.
I'm going, boy, they should have Sky here
Yeah.
because that's all he needs is another nightmare to say that.
Hey, was
Freak out.
that when Catherine Robertson when she went 30 seconds over her time limit on the final?
I'm not sure that was it because it shut off at other times before anybody's time was up, and it was
I
on
got
one
you.
microphone,
Okay.
and nobody did a damn thing about it.
Oh, man.
We would have fixed it, or Sky would have fixed it.
Well, I'd have sure
Oh,
tried.
ain't no doubt about
You'd
it.
have seen me
Ain't no doubt
hustling
about it.
around, freaking out. At least.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. Sky would have been.
Okay.
Try to give me a screwdriver.
Very quickly, Catherine Robertson is extremely sharp. She's smart. She's fast.
She
Yeah.
is.
I like that in people.
She was on the show Friday after.
Oh yeah, she
pretty
kicked butt.
Yeah.
And when the microphone cut off, she just stood to the side of the podium, kept on talking, and finished what she was going to say because wasn't a damn soul going to stop her. I guarantee
I
you
can
that.
believe that.
There you go.
She's like a blonde Katie Britt.
Yeah.
The
What does she
guy-
weigh? About 90 pounds? Red top.
She's not very big.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Couldn't
A
be more
blonde
than that,
Katie
and
Britt.
I heard
The
that.
other guy's a giant.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
I was not very impressed with him. He's kind of mean and there for the meanness.
Kind of
She's
mean,
really
huh?
plugged
Jay
in.
Mitchell's mean?
Wow.
Oh, man.
This is
Even
interesting.
seeing him walk, he's got a damn attitude, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell he's a damn hanging judge.
Ooh.
And, you know, that's all. I'm not for the hanging judge stuff. So
Hey, Red Top, let me
she's
ask you this. Does he come off meaner since he's having to campaign against a woman?
No.
No, you
That
don't
has
think so?
nothing to do with it. No, I no gender issues whatsoever between them.
Okay.
He was complaining about the money she got, but the money she got that he called dark money was from a very good person. And she worked with this gentleman who was instrumental in getting Roe v. Wade overturned. So she got big support in Washington from a very worthy person.
So did that person? So look, I'm not up to speed on. I wasn't there to hear it, and I wasn't there to cross-examine anyone. But so did the person just write her a check? Like, you know, I would write a check that says from Scott Beason to the campaign, or did the person funnel it through somewhere else to keep it hidden?
As far as I know, and she held up 3 articles after Jay Mitchell complained about this.
Right.
And he complained about it in a nasty way, too.
Did he?
And she said, here they are, right here, 3 articles. He's talking about dark money. I do believe this man gave it to her campaign personally, not through a PAC. Now, you can correct me on that.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be quite legitimate. I like the way she's connected. Jay Mitchell is kind of hanging out there. He's just a judge, but he's I didn't see him to be a very cooperative person with other people. And he's like 10 feet tall, just like John Wall. Here's another.
Why is everybody
skinny
against
guy.
tall people?
I don't have anything against them.
Hey, Red Top, why don't you hold on? We got to take a break, and I want to hear the rest of the your version of what you saw and learned and heard last night. We'll be right back.
Just a little more out there.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We did a little research during the break to find out that there were only a couple of times last night that the mics were not on at the start of a question. But anytime they were off at the end of a question, the time limit had been reached. They were given 3 more seconds. They were turned off. And what the audience didn't know was that there were different color lights that the people on the stage can see to give you a warning and then to say that your time is up. And that's how they purposefully cut them off, because that was the rules of the venue, of the event.
Them.
Well, they did, which is fine. I have always appreciated, if you're going to have rules, enforce them.
Enforce them.
It's
Equally.
when people decide that they don't apply to them, or even if a moderator allows somebody to go on, it's a little bit annoying. Because think about it. Say you're in a debate and there's 4 or 5 people there, okay, and you've got a lot to say, maybe in your last statement, or somebody says something about you, and you're cut off at a minute, and you're like, fine, I'm cut off. The next person does the same thing, and then there's the one person at the end who goes for 2 minutes.
Steals the time.
And then what are you going to do? You can't say, "Hey, give me mine back." You played by the rules. So interesting. But Red Top is giving us his breakdown of what he saw last night, and then we got some other phone calls as well. Welcome back, Red Top.
Okay, first of all, these brothers need to tell everybody what the rules are. Nobody told anybody that.
Well, why do you need to know the rules if you're not in the debate? You just wanted to? I don't. Do we need to put the rules in the flyer?
Let me get something straight. The audience is what they're there to talk to, and we don't know what's going on. We think it's a bunch of idiots running the show because nobody said anything about it, and I thought it was very poor. I've been a
now look, if I had been
life.
the person running it, I would have said, "Hey, look, these are I would at least have given you the guidelines for this is how long everybody has, and we're going to be cutting off the mic, so at least you would know that." I can agree with you on that part, but if you go see a ball game, they don't give it to you.
I've seen lots of debates. They always do that on TV. So we'll give you a notice, and it's 3 seconds, et cetera. Nobody said that last night, so
I got you.
That's the only technical thing I'll say. But let me make some comments about Jay Mitchell and John Wall. They seemed rather green. And Catherine Robinson seemed like a pro. Let's move on to the second debate. Wes Allen was extremely good, smart, fast.
Okay.
I like that. I know I'm repeating myself a second time.
Mm-hmm.
John Wall was kind of slow and lurking. And, of course, he is a giant lurch. He is a giant lurker.
You rang.
But I didn't. He just didn't have as much in his backpack. Wes Allen has done a whole lot of stuff, and he had a lot to say for it, and the people responded to him.
Very interesting.
Now, yes, I was impressed with Wes Allen. I really was, and Catherine Robinson. I didn't stay for the third half, because I was freezing, damn cold in that place. I'll bring a coat next time because I got no body fat, And so, but those 2 segments were real good. That's my impression of it. Great event, 18-19. People need to go to these events. I will pay next time 1819 News puts on a debate. I think it's well worth it, guys.
Okay.
Y'all think about it, and you learn a whole lot. And
hey, let me. Sky's going to have a question for you.
I've got a question. Yeah. Okay. It's excellent summation. What did you think, being a musician? What did you think of the acoustics at Impact?
Excellent.
Okay. I'm sure they played some filler music and whatnot.
Pretty live. It's got very live walls, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Acoustically, very nicely balanced. Right. Okay.
Yes, but I can tell it's a delicate room made for very soft performances to come out. You've got a good ear. I saw B.B. King, saw Kansas, Alice Cooper. The best show, Jackson Browne was really good. But it's made for using their house PA. Government Mule came in there
Are you familiar with them?
You know I'm not.
They got their name after a comment about Mrs. James Brown's backside.
Oh,
I think it's a
okay.
government deal. They're a jam band. They're heavy. And it happened to be the night they were there was the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Okay.
So late in I didn't know this. And so late in the show, Warren Haynes mentioned it, and they busted into a medley like a Helter Skelter, and just knocked it out. I Want You, She's So Heavy, of Beatles songs, and they about took the roof off of the impact
Because they were so
night.
loud, and it's not
Yes,
made for that.
They were using their own equipment. I mean, big Marshall cabinets. Just
Well, too much for that venue.
yeah.
Well, I can
We had a
tell.
good time that night.
I think a good description of the room is delicate.
That's good. I like that. It's great for acoustic, like Jackson Brown or when Greg Allman came
I
to
bet.
town. Fantastic. Okay.
And it's just beautiful. Everything's so clean. I encourage people to go downtown Montgomery. It's a beautiful spot. Never been better. You ain't going to find a town with 200,000 people that's got all the amenities this place has got.
That's a good point. I
Thank
don't
you, guys.
disagree with that. Hey, let me ask you the
Well,
last
guys,
question,
One
Red Top.
more, Red
How do
Top.
you
go ahead.
how do you differentiate between a stage performance at a debate and how you think the person would govern? Because I believe many Americans will vote for someone who debates well and might absolutely stink at governing. How do you make that differentiation in your mind, or have you thought about that yet?
Well, actually, like I said, how quick somebody can react to a question, how detailed their answer is, and how deep they go.
So a little bit of
Somebody
sharpness,
that
a little intelligence level.
You
Quick
damn
on their
right.
feet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And you better be fast.
I got you.
This is the 21st century, not the 19th.
I got you.
So I move at a fast pace all day long.
All right. So
That's
who
all I gotta say.
in Red Top's in the Red Top rankings, who won in each one of those of the two you stayed for, the two halves you stayed for?
Oh, wow. Wes Allen and Catherine Robinson kicked butt.
Okay.
And
All right.
the crowd showed it.
Very good. I appreciate you, Red Top. Thank you for the
Very
update.
good.
Take care, folks. See you later.
Good deal. How is it that the one guy who usually swears not to go to any of this stuff actually goes and gives us the best
Excellent.
review of what happened? So I appreciate that. Let's go
How
out
about
to.
Nectarine?
Is this? I can't read that far. Let's see.
Israel influence.
Oh, yeah. Well,
election.
that's actually in the news. So,
wanna start
Nectarine,
that with a minute to
welcome
go?
to the program on this Tuesday.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's the Nectarine.
Hey, Nectarine.
Well, I'm Robert Turner,
Uh-huh.
and our representatives and senators that are running for office here, I want to know if they've been approached by the Israeli lobby for asking them to sign that pledge that they're going to unconditionally support Israel.
Did
that's a
anyone
violation of
ask
their
at
oath of
any of
office.
these debates that have occurred, has anyone here in the state of Alabama asked an AIPAC question, which I think is a fair question? The people
Yeah.
who are supportive want to know, and the people who are not supportive want to know. Hey, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere, Nectarine. We'll deal with this on the other side, but we have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We are back, everybody. So let's get back out to Nectarine. During the break, I was doing a little research, and I am thoroughly disgusted, which I don't say very often, but our leaders in Washington, D.C., I can't say they recently lost their minds, but they have lost their minds. But let's let Nectarine finish his thought before I go off down this trail. He brought up an issue. It just popped in my mind, and then I looked it up a little bit. But Nectarine, welcome back in.
Yeah, well, before I want to know if I'm going to vote for this senator or whatever.
Yeah, I think the Hudson Moore
if they've been
campaign,
approached.
there ought to be some questions about AIPAC. I mean, that's an important issue, like I said, Nectarine, for people who believe both ways on that.
Israel has no business trying to influence our elected officials in any way.
I agree.
In fact, they should be registered as a foreign. Basically, they're not. They're asking our congressmen and senators to violate their oath of office.
Yeah. You know what's funny to me, Robert? Nectarine, is that we will have a heart attack in this country over Russia buying, what was it, less than $100,000 worth of Facebook ads across an entire nation, and that is foreign influence. That is should be spurned at every turn. How dare they? And then we will allow millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to be used for lobbying efforts to support Israel, and everyone acts like it's perfectly okay. So it's either perfectly okay for every other foreign country, or it's perfectly okay for no foreign countries. And people will respond to me, Nectarine, with they're our ally. Well, I don't want Great Britain spending millions of dollars and having handlers for every single congressman. Again, we've got to have some standards, and it's okay for them to look out for their best interest, but everybody should be looking out for their best interest, and there seems to be in 2026 a bunch of times when our leaders care more about their interest than they do our interest.
Well, here's the deal. Israel did not sign the non-nuclear proliferation treaty.
Correct.
And it's illegal for anyone that has signed that treaty to give any military or financial aid to someone who has not signed it.
That's correct.
And we've given over $350 billion to Israel. And
I read one time,
they're violating the law.
I read one time that we do a bunch of that through quote-unquote loans, and then we forgive the loan and pretend that it wasn't a gift.
Well,
Which is look, that's a bunch of lawyer talk stuff that gets your kids back in spanked for half-truths, but that's the way they try to work around it.
Well, we've got too many of these dual citizens should not be allowed to serve in any of our public service.
I agree with you on that.
Biden's cabinet had 30 cabinet, heads.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them were Americans. 27 of them were dual citizen Israelis.
Is that Nectarine? I have not heard that. Is that factual?
That is factual.
27 of the 30 cabinet members were dual citizenship with Israel, and three were 100% just American citizens.
Yeah, and I don't think these dual citizens have no place in our government. It violates the Titles of Nobility Amendment.
I mean, look, I have always said, regardless, that I don't think you can serve two masters. I don't think I made that up.
Oh, that's right. There you go. there you got it. There it is, right there. And I want to know our representatives and our senator, they need to fess up. Have they been approached? See, they threatened them. They said, if you don't do that, sign that, we're going to put money behind a Democrat.
Yeah, we're gonna Thomas Massey you in your own primary is what we're gonna do.
Well, I'm tired of all this stuff. We shouldn't be allowing that at all. I don't think any money should come from outside your district in our elections. That's violating our state sovereignty. You know,
That's a good point.
We have, it's we the people. We have got to stand up and make our voices known and call them on the carpet.
Yeah, wouldn't it be better if when we were electing our congressmen and our senators that the only people who were involved in that campaign was us? That actually makes a lot of sense to me. Just Alabamians. Yeah, there would be some millionaire who would load somebody up that I probably don't like, but at least he's our millionaire.
Yeah. Well, they don't have any business throwing their money. Now, it is. We've given them $350 billion. This little bitty country, maybe 3% of our population in the world, you know, and the reason they were kicked out of 150 countries over the millenniums, you know, after World War I, you know, do you know these Jews wanted to wipe out the entire German population. They were thinking about gassing all the Germans.
I have seen that article, but hey, we got to take a break. Nectarine, thank you very much. We will be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We are back, everybody, starting off the second half of the program. I was greatly appreciative of Red Top saying he didn't stay for the third half. I
was just about to bring that up.
That was fantastic.
That was a show-stopping moment right there.
No, that was good, and so we appreciate him calling. Let's get out to Simpler Days. He wants to talk about the debate, I think. Simpler Days, welcome to the program.
Good morning, gentlemen. I think another show-stopping moment from Red Top was when he said there's not another city of 200,000 people that has what Montgomery has to offer.
Yeah.
You can go to Mobile and you can ride the Carnival Cruise Line. You can catch an Amtrak train, and you can eat seafood on the Gulf down there. Or you can go to Savannah, Georgia, which has a population of about 150,000. And so Red Top must not get out too much. But anyway, I was on the road getting home late. In the AG's race.
I've got to interrupt here, but you can only see Hank Williams' grave in Montgomery, Alabama. So we got that going for us.
Yeah. And the baseball stadium is better in Montgomery.
Yeah, that's right. Biscuits.
This is true. And you get to watch them build the new Taj Mahal for the legislators. So what?
All right, that's it. That's the kibosh right there.
That is a good one.
Sold. All right.
Hey, how much money, Simpler Days, would you pay? I would pay extra taxes to tear down the RSA Tower in Montgomery. I hate that building.
I would pay extra money for them to put in a shower for the taxpayers to go into the new.
You need the shower on the way out, not on the way in.
Well, yeah, you want to get decontaminated. You don't want to. You don't want to contaminate those legislators because they're also honest and pure, and so you don't want to contaminate them with any bad thoughts or feelings. So then shower when you come out to get all that sleaze off of you.
You think they're going to put showers in the legislative building because they're always in there fighting for us, just getting sweaty, fighting?
I've been taking a lot of sarcasm on the program this morning.
I would suggest they put beignets in there for all of them to wash all that bull off their asses.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right now.
Let's all right.
But anyway,
back to the debate.
Did you say noses? Wash it off their noses?
That's what he said. That's what I heard.
I said wash it off those donkey jackasses. But anywho, I was on the road late, and I didn't get to hear the debate, especially the one I was interested in was the AGs. Did the crime in Montgomery get brought up?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. That's why I'm depending on people who actually went to see it. But you can go back and watch the replay, and they're having it edited down so it takes out all the mumbo jumbo in between and all that kind of stuff. So if you go to 1819 News, there's an article at the top of the page, and about halfway down there's the stream, and then sometime today the edited down, cleaned up version will be available, so you could watch just that segment and probably not take a whole lot of your time. So that at least that's a service for you.
Well, thank you, because I was interested to see they were using the poor police officer Cody Smith as a ping pong ball back and forth.
Yeah.
Who helped him more? Who helped him less? I just wondered if that was a debatable topic. But I'll check it out on 1819 News.
You got it, buddy. I appreciate you, Simpler Days.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
When Nectarine was calling, there was something that popped up in my head because I've seen a couple of stories. Did y'all know that there is an initiative in Washington, D.C. to push for integration between the United States military and the Israeli military?
I have not heard this. No.
Yeah. So
what would that mean? What would that encompass?
So legislation section 224. The core of this effort is outlined, titled "The United States Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative." So the House Armed Services Committee's draft of the National Defense Authorization Act for 2027, while it does not technically create a single combined command structure, critics and observers note that it lays the groundwork to fuse the two militaries at the hip. Data and network fusing, mandating collaboration on network integration and data fusion across advanced defense technology areas like artificial intelligence, cyber, and autonomous systems, supply chain integration, forcing the U.S. military to integrate Israeli defense technologies into critical U.S. supply chains, forcing the United States to use Israeli technologies in our supply chains.
Do we have any sovereignty left to give at this point? I guess so.
Appointing a Pentagon executive agent to synchronize weapons co-production, joint research, and testing programs.
Man.
What in the flip?
Who's sponsoring this?
Well, it's interesting. An amendment was introduced by Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat of California, to strip Section 224 from the National Defense Authorization Act. It was voted down by the House Armed Services Committee.
So they're in.
Yeah. Do you know who the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee is?
Go ahead and enlighten us.
None other than the great state of Alabama's Mike Rogers.
It just gets deeper.
Again, it is fine. I am fine. Look, I'm not.
Where'd you find this at? I haven't seen any of this information.
Well,
you got to dig.
You got to hunt around. But there's multiple places. Let me see where AI gathered the information from. There's one place called Responsible Statecraft, which does not look like a leftist organization. Congress quietly moves to integrate U.S. and Israeli militaries. Al Jazeera. This is how bad it is, Sky. You live in America, right?
I do.
Al Jazeera.
Still.
Congress advances U.S.-Israeli military integration plan. That is a headline from Al Jazeera.
I use them from time to time. That's how bad it's gotten in the United States.
Here's another one. Anadolu Ajanzi.
Big website.
From AA.com-TR. I have no idea who they are. Clearly foreign. U.S. Congress quietly moving to integrate American and Israeli military forces.
Quietly is right.
This is unbelievable. Reddit, Common Dreams. AOL has one from 7 days ago. Congress discreetly moves to merge U.S. military.
Discreet. Quiet.
Why would we do that? To anybody? Let's do this. Let's lay it out.
Pick a country.
All right, let me give you this one. Benjamin Netanyahu is the greatest, most amazing, pure as the wind-driven snow, most godly. How much more can I say about him? Dashing, brilliant, visionary, unbelievable leader there's ever been in the history of the world for any country whatsoever. Okay, does that make all y'all happy? He dies eventually, I think. Who comes after him?
Good question.
And what if the person who comes after him is not as great and wonderful and pure as the wind-driven snow as Benjamin Netanyahu is, who would never lie to us about anything, who would never authorize spying about anything, who would never mislead the Americans or the American military about anything? What if the next guy is not as good and we have tied ourselves? Is this not the country that everyone was celebrating because they spent years distributing beepers, pagers with explosives in them to their enemies? And we want to put their technology into our defense systems? is this not the country that has something called the Samson option? Where if you are not on their side, even though you're not against them, you're not on their side, you'll get a happy visit from one of their nuclear weapons that they have but pretend they don't have. So for anybody losing their mind, just look up Samson option. Y'all remember Samson?
Yeah, he tore down the temple.
Finally got caught by the Philistines, prays to God at the very end and says, hey, look, God, if you'll give my strength back, I'll bring this whole thing down on me and your enemies.
Mutual
destruction.
Yeah. It's for real.
I've seen people's faces when they look that up and they start glitching out. This is bad. It is bad. But they seem to be pretty bent on doing it. Mike Rogers, I know your folks are listening. Give us a call. Tell us how this is going to be great for us. You are an Alabama congressman. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. Let's get out to your phone calls. What was the order on this one, Sky?
We've got Rooster on topic.
Yeah, let's go out to Rooster. Rooster, welcome to the program. Thank you for listening.
Well, thank you for taking the call.
Yes, sir.
Scott. Where the hell you been for a week?
I went to the beach, Rooster. I hope you're glad I'm back.
Well, I've been listening. I listen to the radio a lot, and I notice a whole lot of these hosts are all missing at the same time.
Well, their kids get out of school and their wives schedule the vacation, and then you go when you're told.
Okay, well, look here. What got me going today was you talking about the Congress going to tie our military and the Jew military together. Well, them damn fools done forgot all about the USS Liberty. Yesterday was the Memorial Day. That was the anniversary of it.
59th anniversary of the Liberty.
34 soldiers were killed.
Something like that, yes. U.S. Congressman Thomas Massey apparently spent a good amount of time yesterday on the U.S. House floor honoring the survivors of the USS Liberty, calling for investigations, and telling a story, Rooster, that millions and millions of Americans have never heard of.
That's right.
And I think it's important for people to know. So I would advise people to go out and look up the U.S. Liberty story, and I think they'll be shocked by it. For people who don't believe in false flags and that folks would do something to try to get you to fight somebody else, it's a very good story to go find out about, Rooster. I'm glad you brought that up. It was on my list, and I managed to get myself sidetracked and did not mention it.
Okay, now I got one more thing real quick. Did Miss Ann Eubank give you a copy of that document that I gave her yet?
She has not as of yet, but I think she probably will. I'll see her tomorrow because I've missed her for a couple weeks.
All right. Did you read up on Section 286 of Alabama's Constitution?
No, I'm waiting on her to give me that info that you gave her.
Okay.
But I'm gonna look at it. I promise you I am, because I'm still interested in it. Like I tried to tell you when I asked about the indebtedness of the state and the prohibition on general obligation bonds and why we could do revenue bonds and these other kind of bonds when I thought indebtedness was the goal, and I was told, hey, please don't ask that question out loud. I would not be surprised if after I look at it, I agree with you.
Well, the Constitution of Alabama was not intended to be easy to amend, just like the United States Constitution was not intended to be easy to amend.
I understand.
If you can amend it all that easy, then it ain't a Constitution.
I agree with you. Yep. Rooster, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Scott.
Thank you, man. Let's go out to, I still am never going to say this right, Rock on Tour?
I believe Rock On Tour.
Rock On
I want to say
Tour?
Rock On, but that's not
Rock On
Rock
Tour.
On.
Rock On.
Let's try it.
We'll
Let's
let
find
him
out.
tell us how to say it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program.
Rock on tour.
I got
Rock
it.
on
That's it.
Tour.
Rock On
You
Tour.
got to give it that Frenchy sound.
I guess so.
What's on your mind?
Hey, real quick, the Samson option, for those that don't believe it, go back and look at the history of the Six-Day War. I mean, not the Six-Day War, but the 1973 Yom Kippur War.
Okay.
Where the Arab states had almost completely overwhelmed Israel, and Golda Meir said to her defense minister, is it time to use the Samson option?
Yeah. Look, I'm telling you, I'm fascinated every day. Rock on Tour. How little we know here in America mean, I get it that our public school systems are failing, and I saw somebody, Sky, and y'all love this, that said, hey, look, what do you expect that the country's failing? All of our civics and history classes were taught by coaches. I'm like,
that makes a solid point
that makes
there.
a good point. But there's just so much we don't know happened, or, I mean, we make our decisions out of ignorance, myself included.
Yeah, well, I've got a leg up on everybody because my history and civics teacher was my principal.
Oh,
But
yeah.
speaking of not knowing, I'm also calling it to let you know that I can be your expert analysis on anything related to the World Cup. So what do you want?
So you'll be our football expert.
Will you be attending the match tonight in Auburn?
I will not be attending the match in Auburn tonight due to work obligations, but to kind of give you a parallel of what that match is, imagine Ohio State playing North Texas. That's kind of what they do. Argentina's the number one team in the world. They've got what's considered one of the two best players in the world is Lionel Messi, who will be trying to achieve his sixth World Cup appearance, which ties a record of like 24 years of playing soccer. So for those of you who can go, you're probably going to see the best soccer team in the world, one who I think will win soccer, which is not without controversy already.
Wow. Hey, well, we do need a soccer expert because I kind of wore myself out being the official Olympic correspondent for the program because no one else would help me take the mantle. But we need a World Cup. I mean, I get it. Most people are like, it's soccer. We don't care. But, it's important to the world, and I'm proud that we have the World Cup here, and I'm interested to see how well they do in the heat. And if they're whining about the heat in early June,
forget it.
Whoo, man.
They're not going to make it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've already had a referee banned from entering the United States because he was Somali, and we have a double ban on Somalia.
Yeah, well.
And another fun fact, the Iranian team is in the World Cup, but they are training in Tijuana, Mexico, and if they play matches in the United States, they have to fly in, play the match, and then fly back to Mexico. They're not allowed to stay overnight, and none of their supporters are allowed.
That's probably why.
Oh, well, hey, look, that's pretty fair, actually. That's somewhat fair. I mean,
normally when you're at war,
I don't know what you can do.
don't compete in sports. So
I don't know what a great idea it is to send the Iranians to Tijuana. That seems like a rough outing.
Yeah.
Well,
so it turns out.
I think I could solve this war thing. Trump needs to sit down with the Iranians and offer a trade agreement with Hawaii. Because it dawned on me why these Iranians are so doggone boring.
Oh, no.
Wow.
They've got all those Persian limes and no coconuts to put them in to drink it off. And that belly ache is horrible.
This is how my downfall began, right here.
Just
man.
a little hint
this
here
was
and
the
there.
The topic right there.
Roke on Tour knows if
it'd be great if they had some kind of amusement park in the middle of the desert.
What would we call it?
I don't know. Let me think about that during the break.
Don't do it. Roke on Tour, you are our official soccer football expert, and so keep us up to speed.
All right, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Argentina by 6, I guess.
Is that what it is? Is there a betting line on it? Somebody
bet on
call
anything,
the Texas Tech quarterback and find out what the line is.
He knows.
He absolutely knows. Did you see how many bets that young man had placed?
Yeah. Man, this stuff's addictive.
It was like
kids.
I mean, I don't know if there's really a technical difference between 6,000 and 9,000. How many was it? It's either 6 or 9,000 bets.
It was 6. Yeah.
He was betting on all those, like the next pitch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, those prop bets. It's crazy.
It is nuts.
And you're going to hear more and more about it. Matter of fact, 4 Alabama State basketball players just got banned for life by the NCAA.
Well, why are they banned?
Point shaving. Got caught.
Were they really point shaving?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
How do you tell they're point shaving?
They were supposed to, the line was 10. They got paid, get this, $2,000 between the 4 of them. That's $500 each to make sure they lost by more than 10. And they came in, lost to Southern Miss by 17. And now they're banned for life.
Wow.
$500, man.
But why would you ban them for life if Sorsby? I mean, look, now Sorsby bet a lot. And maybe there's a question of, but 6, 7, 8, 9,000, and this judge says, well, I saw a meme is like, well, he'll be really sad if he doesn't get to play, and the judge is like, oh well, if he's going to be really sad, then we'll let him do it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I can get. Oh, and then he gives him the 2-game suspension, by the way, at the start.
That's going to hurt.
But if you bet a few times, great. Yeah. Okay, suspend them for a game or two or whatever. We got to take a break. Lots of stuff to do. We'll be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. During the break, Sky and I were figuring out the plan that we're going to carry out when we get our time machine, and
I'm working on it.
We're not letting y'all know about it because then you'll know something happened when they change the timelines.
You'll notice it, but you won't really know.
U.S. Congressman yesterday. Let's go ahead and give you this story. Amazing. Guess where this story's from, Sky? Same
New Hampshire.
Same answer as earlier.
I was going to go with Florida, but
this would be Al Jazeera.
Oh yeah, they're not bad, really.
U.S. Congressman demands probe into Israel's 1967 attack on USS Liberty. Thomas Massey suggests the deadly assault was not an accident and calls on the U.S. government to honor its survivors.
There's survivors left after 59 years.
Yep. Monday marked the anniversary, the 59th anniversary. He honored the occasion by delivering a speech on the floor of the House of Representatives in the presence of survivors. The Israeli government has long maintained the incident was, quote, friendly fire. But some crew members from the USS Liberty have disputed that assessment, calling the attack deliberate. Massey highlighted their testimonies in his speech, which questioned the official version of the events. He said, while they are still alive, they need closure. Let's give them closure. Let's have an investigation. Let's pass a resolution honoring them. It's long overdue, and then they can have their justice. The House floor speech represented a rare congressional acknowledgement of the lingering questions surrounding the attack. Critics have argued for decades that the USS Liberty incident and the alleged cover-up that followed illustrate a lopsided alliance with Israel that does not serve Washington's interest. Now, so here is some of what the crew said. Said they were in international waters off the coast of the Sinai Peninsula during the Six-Day War, and they detailed a continuous, coordinated 75-minute assault. Israeli Mirage jet fighters repeatedly strafed the virtually unarmed signals intelligence ship with rockets, cannons, and napalm for 25 minutes. Survivors note that visibility was excellent and the ship's large American flag was clearly flying. Well, I mean, you're flying in a plane, Sky. It could be hard to tell that American. Oh, wait a minute. 3 Israeli torpedo boats approached the heavily damaged ship. 1 torpedo struck the ship's intelligence spaces, killing 25 American sailors instantly. Survivors report that the torpedo boats circled the vessel and deliberately fired upon firefighters on the deck, and empty rubber rafts deployed for abandoning ship, an action they interpret as an attempt to leave no survivors. The crew was enraged when distress signals and pleas for help were ignored. Aircraft launched from USS carriers like the USS Saratoga and the USS America to defend the Liberty were abruptly recalled to their decks by the White House, leaving the crew stranded and bleeding for roughly 17 hours before rescue arrived.
Who was in the White House?
BJ. I was going to say Johnson.
Yeah.
Despite the devastation, which left 34 American service members dead and 171 wounded, the Johnson administration and Israeli officials labeled the incident an accident and friendly fire caused by communication failures.
70 minutes.
Now listen to this, okay? Many crew members. Well, let's give you the demand for truth first. This is from a YouTube story, Forbes breaking news. Survivors and prominent intelligence officials argue that the attack was intentional. They believe the Israeli Defense Forces sought to prevent the ship from monitoring their communications and observing the broader military actions of the war. I've also heard the version that said that the goal was you sink the ship, no survivors, and you say that Egypt did it. And then we go in, because you don't fire on American boats. Isn't that what they say?
That's right.
You don't mess with our boats. That's the long-standing thing in the United States. Unless many crew members were initially ordered by Naval Command never to speak of the attack. Veterans of the incident, supported by advocates in Congress, continue to push for an open, unbiased government investigation to clear the historical record and gain closure. Detailed testimonies, firsthand histories, and crew petitions on the USS Liberty Veterans Association site. You can also review official historical documentation, such as the declassified CIA report on the incident.
Now, the Liberty attack remains the only attack on a United States Navy vessel since World War II that has not received a full public congressional investigation. The only one.
Well,
why is that?
Well, I'm sure they just haven't got around to it. I mean, look, it's only 2026. I mean, it's only been 50, how many years? 59 years?
59 years.
It's only been 59 years, Scott. And you know as well as I do, you learned in civics from your history teacher, that from your coach, that
he was pretty good.
that the wheels of government are designed to turn slowly in America. You can't have just revolution. You can't just start an investigation overnight, especially if you know the answers. Let me throw a couple of other things at you for people who are upset and quit listening to the show already. One of the former CIA guys, and I can find it and play it for you, but it doesn't matter. I'm right. Says there are 10,000 more pages of JFK documents from the JFK assassination. Now, we're supposed to already have all the documentation, but his friends in the intelligence services said there's at least 10,000 more pages of documentation.
Yeah, you better believe there is.
Uh-huh.
We'll never see it. Well, not in our lifetime, at least, I don't think.
Well,
and they'll never be justice.
He alleges that the reason he was told, the reason he was given, is because it implicates a foreign nation.
No way.
Yeah, I can't even believe it. I can't even guess. I can't even jump at a guess of what nation would be so protected.
Well, Kennedy was all about sound dollar, and he had talked about getting rid of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
You know that.
So that makes the globalist group angry.
Yes, it does.
And then he also did not think that some small countries did not need nuclear weapons.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
It would be almost like it would destabilize a region of the world if one country had nuclear weapons. And let me ask a real question. And I think it was Nectarine that brought it up. This idea that people of dual citizenship, or let's say divided loyalties, should be in positions of power in the United States. Why is it that we probably would never let, if somebody's a huge Auburn fan, just Auburn person through and through, would we, and maybe we have, but would we be good with them becoming the president of the University of Alabama?
Well, when you put it in football terms like that, I see the problem.
We start getting all antsy about it.
They might have
don't we?
Ulterior motives and loyalties. Yeah.
Well, when push comes to shove, if it was like, hey, is the University of Alabama going to get this new project from the state, or is Auburn going to get this new project of the state? Would you be 100% sure that they wouldn't be like, Auburn needs to catch up a little bit? Or maybe Alabama, you know what I'm saying? We would never, ever trust. We would always second guess. But we will let people
not to.
We will let people who are sworn an oath to another country run our country. How does that make sense?
It makes you wonder why.
It really does. I don't understand why more people aren't upset about that, but hey, look,
most people aren't aware of the influence that you speak of.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let people off on that one because people don't know. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
We're back. We appreciate you listening to the program, third half of Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Hey, don't forget the podcast. Brian Dawson has a podcast called 1819 News, the podcast. And you can listen to this program at the same place you can find his podcast. Go over to YouTube, search for 1819 News, the podcast, and listen to what Brian Dawson has going on. We are currently... How many people we got? We need a few more subscribers over at YouTube, so go check us out. We're live. We've had a good number of views today, not as many as we'd like to have, but look, it's a growing process.
You have to mention it.
You do have to do
on
that.
The program,
kind of like the phone numbers as well.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, that too.
Phone number. We need to just do a little. What are those little automatic things? Just a little bumper,
little
liner that says the number, and you can find us also at YouTube. That would be good. But the number here, 1-800-289-9228, 1-800-289-9228. So we were going through NPR's. I mean, you can't be any more mainstream, accepted
National Public Radio.
Oh, this is where the smarty pants, bougie people get their news than NPR. And we celebrated the diversity in the Biden administration that Alejandro, is it Alejandro or Alexander? Mayorkas.
Mayorkas. Yeah, that'll get it.
Mayorkas. We were celebrating diversity because he was Hispanic.
Cuban Hispanic.
Yes, but definitely Hispanic. So the Times of Israel story, which I can tell you who wrote it, and I can give you the date, and you can go find it yourself, by JTA from January the 20th, 2021. The Times of Israel is celebrating that Alejandro Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security, I'll read you word for word. Mayorkas, 60, the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security under President Barack Obama, was born in Cuba to a Cuban Jewish father and Romanian Jewish mother who survived the Holocaust. You think I should read the rest of it? Yeah, I should.
Might as well, yeah.
He has worked closely with Jewish groups and spoken often about the specific threats facing American Jews. An array of Jewish groups sought a swift confirmation given the threat of extremist violence surrounding the presidential transition. But a Republican senator who supported overturning the election results blocked that possibility on Tuesday.
Surprise.
Now the reason I bring this up is, number one, the American press just cannot tell us the truth. They can't.
You cannot hate the legacy media enough.
No, you can't. And I have no problem with anyone's, everybody gets born to whatever family God sends you to, and I don't care if you're from South Africa. I don't care if your family's from Israel. I don't care if your family's from Bolivia. I don't care if your family's from Canada. Well, maybe not Canada, but anyway, it does not matter to me. But why would NPR? And look, until today, I thought Mayorkas was Hispanic.
I believe that 100%. It was unquestioned.
Mayorkas is not Hispanic because he came from Cuba. That's like saying Elon Musk is black because he came from South Africa. Is that not exactly the same?
The equation balances, yes.
It is unbelievable. And then I noted, because of having looked this up, because we're talking about dual citizenship, we're talking about loyalties, why would the Times of Israel celebrate? Why does it matter to the Times of Israel? Okay? Somebody please call me and tell me this. Regardless, I need it explained to me. Why would the Times of Israel care? Why does it matter? Why would they have an article that says all the Jews Biden has tapped for top roles in his new administration? Why does it matter to them that a Jewish person is the American Secretary of State, the CIA Deputy Director, the Attorney General of the United States, the Director of National Intelligence, the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States, the Office of Science and Technology Policy Director, the Deputy Health Secretary in the United States? No one ever told me that Rachel Levin was raised in a conservative Jewish home in Massachusetts. The Secretary of Homeland Security, the National Security Agency Cybersecurity Director, the Deputy Secretary of State. Again, why does the Times of Israel care? The Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. But they do care. Again, it's kind of like our election questions, all right? We're taught not to care. It does not matter. These people are America first. That's all you need to know. But then a foreign country has articles basically celebrate. Why would they care? Do y'all think there are any stories out of in Mexican papers that are like, hey, we got Alejandro Mayorkas? No, that would be that's a bad one because they're like, hey, he's not Mexican.
Who's he?
Yeah, the Cubans weren't celebrating that either. But
at least the Times of Israel is honest and reports real news.
They are.
They've got a one-up on.
And they're like, hey, this is good for us. They don't say that in the article, but that's what the articles. They're reporting it. That's exactly right. That's why they're reporting it. You should support it. This is a good thing. So why is it a good thing for us?
If you were an Israeli, wouldn't you read that and go, wow,
that's awesome.
We're
in good shape.
A powerful influence in the United States, the leader of the free world.
We are in very good shape.
Incredibly good shape. Pretty much all the leading cabinet positions are at least dual Israeli citizenship. It's incredible.
Right.
How could that be?
And I don't know that they have official, what do they say, recognized dual citizenships. But the question is there any split of loyalty? That's the question. I mean, you got to ask it. Again, we're back to Alabama and Auburn. We would never, ever, we would be like, wait a minute. But it seems to be fine. And unfortunately, I did not mean to stumble across it. And I also,
you did.
And I'm not any happier about it than I was before I got there.
No, I believe the word is disturbing. I mean, if it was, all right, any other country.
In the whole world.
Any other country, it would be disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Any country. Britain, France, Canada.
Imagine.
Russia. What if it was Russia?
Well, even if it's our allies, if it was Australia.
Still.
And everybody was like, hey, how did an Australian person end up Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State, people be like, that just seems weird. But no.
And what are the odds?
And I think the problem is, and I think a lot of people's problem is that you can't discuss it, that you can't bring it up. And that's what makes people get a weird feeling. I want to go back to that list again because what I'll get sometimes is, well, they're the most qualified. What was his name? The Secretary of State, Blinken? Do y'all remember Blinken? Now, up until recently, I had no idea, nor did I care about Blinken's heritage. It doesn't matter. These are Americans in my mind. At least I thought they were Americans in my mind. They're Americans. Are you questioning his Americanism? No, I'm not. But it was fine for us to call him, what was it, Blinken, and nod? Winking, blinking, and nod. You know, you're like, what a ding-dong. The guy just can't keep it straight. So was he the best guy? I don't know if he was or not. He can't hold a candle to Marco Rubio.
No, who can? So
it's a fascinating thing that a lot of people are. And some of these publications are amazing. The Times of Israel. I found another one called Forward, where everything, all of these American leaders are judged based purely on their, this Forward website. It's called Jewish Independent Nonprofit. Okay? It doesn't say it's Israeli. Everything that they talk about, whether it's Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Mike Walls, Elise Stefanik, Mike Huckabee, Steve Witkoff, all these people who I don't believe are Jewish, but what matters is what they say about Israel. Not about what they say about, hey, what's going on in the United States. Not even about how people are treated in the United States. It's about what they have said about Israel. That's a problem. Because it's not about people, apparently. It's about other countries.
It's not very diverse at all.
It's not. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
To Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. We appreciate you listening to the show. I just, hopefully it's okay that I have problems with a number of the policies that the United States has had. I have a real problem with the number of H-1B visa folks that we've let come in from countries like India. There is a story out last week that, 85 to 90 or 80 to 90% of the H-1B visa applications were fraudulent. How you like that? So your sons and daughters, no matter where you're from, where I'm from, your sons and daughters, your American sons and daughters getting out of college, you working at wherever it was, who ended up having to train your replacement, or some big company got a H-1B visa person from overseas and your son or daughter didn't get that job. Apparently their applications, most all of them, are fraudulent.
Nice to know.
And
we
let them in the United States because
take American jobs.
Yeah, because a bunch of tech billionaires. I mean, can you? I have a hard time. I have a hard time. I mean, can you? Can you? I have a hard time. I have a hard time. I mean, can you? Can you? I have a hard time. I mean, can you? Can you? I have a hard time. 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 I have a hard accepting when a gajillionaire says, I need to be able to have more competitive salaries. I just can't pay these Americans what Americans demand. And yes, I'm worth $500 billion. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
could never spend it all.
I don't really understand how you just say, I don't care about my fellow Americans. I don't care about my country. I don't care about the country that protects me to the nth degree, that allowed me to become a billionaire. I'm not opposed to billionaires. I'm not opposed to people being rewarded for what they do. I do have questions when it comes to, I don't care about everybody else behind me. I don't care about the legacy of the people who bled and died to give me the country that gave me the opportunity. I'm not like Barack Obama, who's like, well, we built the roads, and we built the roads, we did all this. You got to pay more back because all of us built the roads for you. I'm not for that. I'm not for the government deciding, but I'm okay with, hey, look, I'm not making a special effort to bring you cheaper labor so you can still have it done in America, where we'll protect it and we'll protect your factory and we'll protect your interest. Because I know you got a little bit antsy from time to time, because while you were all out building your factories in other countries, and then all of a sudden the government came along and said, hey, we appreciate you. It's now our factory. You want to stay here, but you don't want to pay Americans. It is at least annoying. And I don't think we should foster, reward greed. And what's funny, these programs usually have these guidelines like, hey, you got to prove you can't hire some, you don't have anybody within so-and-so that you would be qualified for the job, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll let you bring these folks in. And then you find out that some huge percentage of them are fraudulent, on top of the fraud that y'all were committing by saying I couldn't find an American to do it. Now here's my thing. Say that, I don't know, think of a disgusting job. Remember that show Dirty Jobs? I don't know what a disgusting job is. Say you had
cleaning out the sewer.
Cleaning out the sewer right down from the drug addict homeless shelter. Okay?
That's pretty bad.
That's a bad job, because it's got a problem and we need somebody to go in there and dig it out with their hands. Okay? Nice. And I said, you said, well, how much you going to pay me? And I said, well, minimum wage. And every single American said, no, I was $3 more than minimum wage. Let's do that. Let's do 10 something. I don't know what minimum wage is.
$10.50 currently.
$10.50
in Alabama.
And every American said, I ain't doing that for $10.50. There's no way you're getting me to do that. That's from the drug addicted homeless shelter. It's got needles in it. It's got blood. It's disgusting. Not doing it. And then I run to the federal government and say, you know what? I've got this great company and I'm worth millions, and I can't get Americans to do the jobs I need them to do. Now you got 150 Americans that say, look, I'll do it for $20 an hour, as long as you give me the equipment and I can stay relatively safe. I'll do it for 20. I'll do it for 25. They might even do it for 15. But I run off to the government and say, I can't make it. I need some foreign workers. Okay, well, I see that you tried and no one applied for your job for so many weeks or months, and yes, we'll let you bring in a bunch of foreign workers for it. That is just bull. It's absolute bull, and we don't call it out as bull. But it's ridiculous. It's like some of these American companies that did move overseas. Really, your profit margins were down that much? And I have to listen to all the educated people, Sky, who tell me how, well, if we didn't move them overseas, it would just be, they'll be so much more expensive. Really? Really? Have y'all bought socks lately, Sky?
I have, yes. Yeah.
They're not necessarily cheap.
No. Well, nothing is. Yeah, of course. I get your point. The textile mills,
yes,
moving away,
we didn't
really give us the savings.
We had to send all the textile. Otherwise, I mean, if we made them in America with that machine that we probably developed in America, man, socks would probably cost, I don't know, $10, $12 for a pack, at least.
And I remember all those jobs going up here in Alabama.
Yes.
And when they shut down the Russell plant and all the others.
And the reason I always ask that is because I took microeconomics, okay? I did really, really well. And there's this whole thing when you take economics, one of the chapters or the sections or whatever, Sky, is how you price your products. And there's two different ways a couple different ways to make money. You can either make a bunch of money off one unit or
volume.
You can sell by volume.
Right.
You can sell a lot of units for less. And at least what we were told back in the day was there's this golden spot where you can sell the most units at the highest price. And there's somewhere in there where you make the most money at selling it as high as you can, but also selling as many as you can so that you get this little seesaw, which makes perfect sense. And then I always ask my friends, the educated business friends who are supporting moving everything overseas, are you telling me that when they moved the factory overseas, they stopped trying to find that golden spot here in the United States? They stopped trying to sell me the item for as much as they could possibly get out of me. Hey, Scott, will you give me $25 for this? How much can you get out of Scott for it? Did they stop doing that? They just said, oh, wow, we're over here in slave laborville. We won't charge $200 for a pair of shoes because I know that Ming Chow made it for $3. We'll probably charge Scott, $17 for that pair of bougie tennis shoes because our margin's so big. We won't try to get $200 out of Scott because we moved the company overseas. You see what I'm saying, Scott?
Got such a big break on it anyway. We ought to give something back.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that happened. Well, and see, that's when they start glitching out too, Sky. When I talk about people glitching out when you ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Because they know you're trying to get as much as you can for the item, right?
Of course.
And that's one of the things they believe. That would be true. T, fill in the dot. True.
Every time.
But what about, now they're making it a lot cheaper. Do you think are they saving me money? So now it really is about greed.
Yeah, it's what the market will bear. That's what.
And it's to pardon the French, but it's to hell with Americans. We don't care about you. I'm going to be a billionaire, and I don't really have any loyalty to any country. All you are the little people, and I'll just go wherever I want to go in the world. If it all goes to heck in a handbasket, I've got a special island over here with me and my buddies. If Jared Kushner can get it, I don't think he's getting that one in Albania or whatever. That deal seems to be busted. But anyway.
Well, I always remember those billionaires couldn't do this to us unless we were sold out by our own law.
By our own leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Scott, you're against freedom. If you're telling him he can't go, then you're against freedom. See, it's almost like they use our goodness against us.
No.
They would never, ever do that. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We're back, everybody. Goodness gracious, the Tuesday is almost gone. We appreciate you listening. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. One of these days I'm going to figure out which one of these computers is listening every time and it goes deep, deep. I mean, look, I know it's going to listen anyway, but at least don't tell me you're listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got that chirpy smoke detector thing going on.
Yeah, smoke detector.
That's
trying to be. Never mind.
Yeah, no.
Let's go to Charles the First of Dewey. Is
He's
Charles
on
the First really on topic?
He is. He's
Charles
all
the
over
First.
it.
Welcome back to the program. I hope you are well.
I'm good. It's a nice sunny day out here.
It is.
Well, you were talking about Biden appointees that are kind of you don't know the underhanded things that's going on, and I want to tell you about a very important one that's in a negative way, Scott, very negative way.
Okay.
I wrote articles back in 2020. You would love to read them. Well, one main article, and it was about how the election was stolen. I mean, you know how I am. I really broke it down, and I had hundreds of people like I've never seen on Quora interact, and I made them stay nice. Now, the one person, though, that I found out that's like the center person here in mail-in and affecting the secretaries of state, get ready to research this name, Amber McReynolds. Now, let me tell you about Amber McReynolds that Biden appointed.
Now, I thought she was – wait. I thought there was an attorney, a guy attorney that was the main guy on convincing all these Secretary of States. He's the one that ran around and was going to sue if they didn't change the rules.
No, Amber McReynolds actually went to because we're talking about California and mail-in voting right now.
Okay.
She went to every single county using CARES Act money to train them on mail-in ballot. Now, listen, before this, she was just the National Coalition in 2018 or 17 of mail-in voting. She wanted it all across the United States.
Okay.
And the main underhanded person was a guy from Oregon that got the state of Oregon to do it and figured out every sneaky, underhanded way that he could do it and taught it to Amber McReynolds, who's a Colorado person in small-time government there, okay?
Okay. Now,
Well,
Mark
Biden
Elias is who
appoints
I
her.
was talking about.
And if you look up Amber McReynolds, something's about to shock you really good.
Okay.
Now, remember, she really did. She went to these places, to the poll workers, her and her constituents right under her, to teach about mail-in ballots and other stuff that would undermine normal voting that she's saying had to be done because of COVID.
Okay.
And also, to a certain degree, changing, legislators are supposed to be in charge of the procedures of elections.
Yes.
She made the Secretary of State think that they could do whatever they wanted to and didn't have to answer to the legislators of the states. Got me?
That makes sense.
And
I mean, look, she's
particularly-
listed. She tells about herself. She is a national leader in effective voting processes.
But guess what she is right now that we can't get? She is the head of the U.S. Post Office, if you look her up. And she can't, Trump can't even get her out of there. Biden put her in there. For a while, she was the second in command, but she is the chairman of USPC. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah,
if you look it up, you can.
She is the chairman of the USPS Board of Governors.
Yes.
Wow.
And listen, they are the main ones that carry the ballot to California. So get this straight. She taught them, all 58 counties, she taught them how to do mail-in voting along the procedures from Oregon, which were very democratic and very lined up to do exactly what we've thought that they were doing. Have you got me?
Yeah.
And now she's over the whole thing. So all throughout in November, because her term doesn't end till December something. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
She is in there. You get me? And nobody is more of an expert. Nobody has got more money, $400 million from the CARES Act, for each state to give her to do everything that she did. And listen, if you really look her up, in the states that really crossed over, they were lady secretaries of state that were very much so, she was proponents of them. Have you got me?
Mm-hmm.
She characterized them as, you get me, they were on board with her to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just something, once you look at it there. And listen, I'd love to send you my article because you would love the article I wrote about how the election got stolen.
Yeah, send it to me. You've got my text message. She was reelected as the chair. She was elected as the chair November 14th of 2024, and then was reelected as chair on November 14th, 2025. Huh.
Perfect timing to keep her there.
Yeah, that's amazing. She's an expert on election administration and policy. Professional career focused on strengthening democratic institutions and improving the voting experience.
Experience?
Uh-huh.
Yes, she taught them minute things during 2020 because of COVID that she bypassed legislators, or she got the Secretary of State to have their legislators vote in things that did what she wanted. And the Democrats gave her the CARES Act money, if you look it up, to get everybody together, go to every polling place that they could, go to every Secretary of State that they could, and change things based upon the Oregon and Colorado means of mail-in ballot voting, amongst other extreme things that you wouldn't even believe.
No,
So,
I believe it. She served on the 2021 Colorado Independent Redistricting Commission. She's the co-author of, quote, When Women Vote, Sky, and regularly delivers speeches on how to improve and strengthen election processes and improve the voting experience. She was on the National Task Force on election crises and the National Council on Election Integrity. Wow.
Yes, and she really didn't have a lot of anything other than just being the head of this national coalition that the Oregon guy started, that he put her over as her being in just not a big area of government in Colorado.
Yeah, no, good point.
So
Charles
if
the First,
you look,
I got to take a break, buddy.
If you look up California, okay.
You got it. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. I was jumping off in the break with Sky saying that the crazy thing about some of these people and the lady that he had brought up, who's now the chairman of the governors at the Postal Service, these folks on the left, they have embedded themselves everywhere in our government. They're everywhere, and they're constantly working, and they're constantly, it's their thing. I don't know why. I don't understand it because I'd rather just be left alone. Hey, let me go back to my land or my house or my farm or whatever, and just y'all leave me alone and just don't come over there. But these people, they're all about whatever their brave new world is going to be, and they're always working, always digging. And Sky made the point that they get themselves in these positions, and then they promote each other, and then all of a sudden they're the judges. They're the legislators, and then when there's an issue or a conflict, well, their buddy's the judge, and then they automatically win, and all this kind of stuff. And I was telling him that my experience with some of these kind of folks, sometimes in the legal community, is that they have a different. Some of them, I would argue that they have a different understanding of morality than many of us do. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you got lawyers involved, and you're like, hey, what about this? Oh, no, it's fine. It's not a big, it's normal. And you're like, well, I don't know. And then finally there's another lawyer who says, yeah, this line 55 here, that's not acceptable. I know what you're doing. And they're like, okay, fine, take it out. And you're like, wait a minute, I was asking about that earlier, and you were like, oh, it's nothing, it's just normal. But when the other lawyer says, no, that's not right, I know what you're doing, we just take it out. And what I was trying to tell him is there is this belief, and a lot of people believe this, that it is okay for someone to do as much as they possibly can, and that's all morally okay. It is your job to stop them. And if you don't straight up say, hey, we're not doing this, I know what you're doing, I'm stopping you, they will continue to come at you, and they will take everything you have. They will destroy your state, they'll destroy your family and all that kind of stuff, and not feel bad about it. And if you ever wondered why they don't feel bad about it, it is this weird morality that I guess they teach in law schools that says it is the other person's responsibility to stop them. Well, Scott, I don't know if I believe that. Well, then deal with contract law in some way, where they send you the agreement, and then they say, well, you signed it. Well, yeah, but I didn't know you were hiding that right there. That doesn't even say that. What are you talking about? Well, you signed it. So it was my job to find every sneaky little thing. So then I fast forward to the legislature. We had some guys who just would not tell the truth about their legislation. They're in the well. They're explaining their legislation. They wouldn't tell the truth. You ask them a question, they're like, oh, no, it doesn't do that. And unless you said, oh, no, on page 6, line 14, it says this. Is this not what this says? Oh, yeah, that's what it says. Well, then I want to take that out. Okay, fine. Why didn't you tell me that when I asked about it vaguely? Because it's my job to find it. I have to find it. It's that little contractual lawyer game. Did you find the hidden bomb in there or not? If you didn't find it, that's on you. I don't have to feel bad at all for not telling you where it was. It's my job to try to get it by you. You didn't find it. And what I'm trying to warn y'all about is there's a lot of people in government. There's a lot of people out there who have been trained or have adopted that view of morality where you and I think, no, I'm not supposed to try to trick people. I'm not supposed to try to get one over on you. I'm not supposed to try to take advantage of you. I'm supposed to have an honest set of weight and measures. That's what God says. They believe it's okay to have a dishonest set of weights and measures. It's your job to catch me doing it and make me stop. And I think if we realize that there are people like that, we will do a better job of understanding what they're doing to us. they don't even see it as wrong that they're trying to trick us. It's our job to be smart enough not to be tricked. It's our job to understand that they're trying to trick us and to stop them. And many times they'll be like, oh, you got me. Ha ha, move on. And you're like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Am I making any sense with that, Sky?
Yeah, it's snake oil ethics, I suppose.
No, that's a great name for it. Yeah. Snake oil ethics.
Yeah.
If you
got poisoned, you should have read the side effects.
Yeah, there's no medicine in this, is there? You got me. That kind of thing. But I don't know if people understand that is out there.
Makes perfect sense. By any means necessary.
Yeah.
And that becomes somehow morally okay.
Yeah,
sufficient.
it's okay to break into your house, or it's okay to try to steal half your business, or it's okay to get the government to do something that will hurt the competitor's business. It's okay to do things unto you. It's your job to try to stop me. And if you don't stop me, then you basically, there's a swanky word for it. You basically said it was okay.
Right.
You didn't tell me no. You didn't say no. What is it? Tacit agreement. That's the word.
That's it.
That's what it is. And I promise you that a bunch of people in the legal profession and a bunch of people in government and frankly a bunch of Americans now think if you're not on the ball, you're okay with it.
You deserve what
and
you
they should not feel guilty in one bit. They're just smart business. Oh, they're just good politicians. They're just good lawyers. Let's take that break and we'll get out to your phone calls. We'll be back.